قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله الأمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to our Sunday episode of Ask Zad, coming to you after Asr prayer in Mecca region. We will go straight to your questions because we have a lot of callers, and the time of today's episode is a little bit shorter than usual. So, Faizan from India.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah. Yes, Faizan.
Sheikh, I don't have much knowledge regarding the takfir and the things related to it, but Sheikh, am I audible?
Yes.
So Sheikh, I don't have much knowledge regarding takfir and the things related to it, but I have few relatives who I know for certain do shirk, and my father even tried advising them, but to no benefit. I know that I can't pray behind them, and I also know that I can't call them as kafirs. So when I meet them, do I say salam or not? Again, I'm an ignorant, so what's the ruling, please?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah. Fidan from Turkey.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah.
My question was, if in Salat you pause for too long, do you have to make the prostration of forgetfulness?
If you what?
If you have a long pause.
If you have?
A long pause, like you don't speak for a long time.
A long pause.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you need to have sujood al-sahw for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will answer inshallah.
Okay.
And we have Muhammad from the US.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamualaikum wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, whenever I look up the tashahhud on the internet, I find that it is written in two ways.
Okay.
Either it is written as Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, or it is written as Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. And likewise, with the words Innaka Hamidun Majid, should we say Innaka Hamidun Majid or Innaka Hamidun Majid?
Okay.
Which one would invalidate our prayer?
I will answer you inshallah. We have Abdullah from India.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamtullah.
Sheikh, I live in India and heard from one of renowned student of knowledge that to not buy and boycott the products of China as they are oppressing the Muslims living there. My dad says that if that's the case, then you should even boycott the product from US, most of European countries, and even India, as they are also oppressing Muslims in one way or the other. So what is the ruling on that? Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazakum. We have Noor from Nigeria. Do we have Noor? Okay. Abu Uzair from Holland.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah.
My question is very simple. It's about the attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the saq Allah, the shin of Allah. I was wondering what's the best explanation for those who call us anthropomorphists. Barakallahu fiqh.
Okay. And we have Muzammil from the Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah.
How do we reconcile between al-wala wal-bara and keeping ties of kinship with non-Muslim family?
Okay. We have Jawad from the Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, my question is about there's this contest that my university is having, writing, an essay contest, and I know a little bit of the ruling about winning money at contests, but I'm just wondering, is writing an essay contest permissible, and also does the ruling change depending on, for example, I want to win the money to give to charity, and also the essay will have some elements of talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in a sense, trying to give da'wah as best as I can.
So what is the essay about?
Inshallah, the essay will be about, it's kind of like trying to describe happiness, you know, and how people strive to be happy in this world, but they do it in ways like zina and alcohol and, you know, haram ways.
Is there any entry fee?
Is there any what?
Entry fee.
No, sir.
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Noor from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you doing?
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have a question regarding the ayat in Baqarah that says, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. So I heard someone explaining the ayat, and he said that since Allah said He is making a khalifa on earth, so the actual plan was to send Adam alayhi salam onto earth. So it was not a punishment that he ate the fruits and he was expelled from paradise. So I just need some clarification. Also, Sheikh, he said the one explaining the verse, he said because the hadith says in paradise is what the eye has never seen. So Adam and Eve were in a different part of paradise or in a different paradise. Can I just get some clarification on that, Ya Sheikh?
I will answer one question, inshallah. Ahmed from South Africa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
barakatuh. Is there anything wrong with this? Someone wears an Ayatul Kursi as a necklace chain, and when it drops on the floor, the person picks it up and kisses it out of respect, but does not believe that it will protect him. Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazakum. Okay. Ali from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamullah.
Why do some people from the Maliki madhab pray with their hands unfolded? Can you please elaborate?
Okay, I will answer inshallah. Riyal from Bangladesh. Riyal. Okay, Salmon from Bangladesh. Salmon. Irfan. Irfan from the UK. Okay. So all these three are not there. Saad from Qatar.
حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت هو رب العرش العظيم.
What did I do for you, أخي? Why are you saying this to me?
What do I say?
You say حسبي الله to me. What did I do to you?
No. Is it recorded or what?
No, it's not recorded. I didn't hear Salamu Alaikum. I didn't hear Sheikh, can we say this dua 7 times in the morning and the evening? All what I've heard was حسبي الله.
Okay.
So, are you asking me or you're giving tahsib on me?
Are you the Sheikh now?
Yes, I am in the flesh.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Saad. What can I do for you?
I want to ask you about this morning, evening azkar. I've been searching everywhere, but there was a scholarly difference, and I want you to make it clear for me.
I will.
Is the morning,
yes.
the morning, evening azkar for حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت هو رب العرش العظيم. Is this authentic or not?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah. And we have Akbar from India. Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
If a person did the wuzu like 4 or 5 hours before and doesn't remember anything that he did that broke the wuzu, but he is worried that he might have broken his wuzu but not remember it, can he make tayammum and pray as a precautionary measure?
Okay. I will answer inshallah. And we have Taimur from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamtullah.
My question is regarding the dua for getting dressed. Are we meant to say this before we get dressed or after we are fully dressed? Jazakallah khair.
وجزاك. Abu Abdurrahman from Italy.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ya Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I want to know what to say between the two kutuba.
Okay. I will answer
Right.
inshallah. And we have Abdul Sami' from Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, just wanted to request you that you see nowadays a lot of youth, and not even just youth, just the regular teenager and even the older people, they're using the social media, Instagram and Twitter, etc. So I just wanted to request that if you could give us some nasiha or advice so that we could use these platforms in the correct manner. Thank you very much.
وجزاك. Okay, so we have like less than 35 minutes. 18 questions. Number one, Faizan from India. He says, I have relatives that do acts of shirk, and I'm not an expert in takfir. And at the same time, I know that we can't pray behind them. So should I give them salam or not? Akhi, this is a package deal. The default is a person is a Muslim. His name is Ali. His father's name is Abdullah. His family name is a Muslim name. So they're Muslims by default. If you ask them and give them the microphone, are you Muslims? He said, of course. So this is the default. Now, what they do, which is regarded to be acts of shirk, is the thing that's coming to remove this certainty of them being Muslims. Therefore, it has to rise to the level of certainty in order to remove a certainty. They're Muslim by default, that's certain. In order to take them out of the fold of Islam, I have to have certainty. Till I have that certainty, I assume they're Muslims, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, without any problem. Now, Sheikh, they're going to dargahs, they're doing shirk, they're doing that. Okay, I know. These acts, in order for us to take them out of the fold of Islam, there are a number of conditions that must be fulfilled. And there are a number of obstacles that we must ensure they do not exist to prevent us from giving them takfir. And usually this is done by scholars. So if you're not up to it, in this case, don't assume that they're mushriks. Give them salam for the benefit of the doubt, and Allah knows best. Fidan from Turkey says, is the long pause a reason to offer prostration of sahu? The prostration of sahu, as scholars say, is either for skipping something that is mandatory or a pillar, or adding something that is mandatory or a pillar. Anything that is voluntary, it is not considered to be a cause of concern. So, for example, I know that raising the hands is a sunnah. If I omit it, my prayer is valid because it's neither pillar nor mandatory. If I add, when I go to sujood, I raise my hands, which is not from the sunnah. Again, this does not require sujood as-sahu. Now, the issue is, while praying, I recited the Fatiha, and I paused for 10-15 seconds trying to remember the ayah which I concluded my previous rak'ah with, so that I can continue. And I'm blacking out. I don't know. So 15 seconds, 20 seconds, I'm just sitting trying to remember. Does this require sujood as-sahu? The answer is no. Muhammad from the US, he has a confusion, and a lot of the Muslims have this similar confusion who are non-Arabs. Why? What he's referring to is an issue of tajweed. So when we write, we say, Ashhadu, I testify, an la ilaha. illallah. An, that, la, no, ilaha, God, worthy of being worshipped other than Allah. So the article or the preposition or whatever you call it, an, that, which means that, followed by a la, negation article. In writing, we write it an, separate word, la, separate word. When we say it, we have something called idgham. Idgham is when a silent noon, we call it the noon sakina, is followed by one of the 6 letters combined in the word yarmilun. So the L, the lam, and the ra are of the little words, the letters from this word. So we don't say ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. No, we combine the N with the L because they're so close. So we say ashhadu an la ilaha, Allah, instead of an la. So if I say it both ways, no problem. It doesn't impact your salat. Idgham, if you drop it, your prayer is valid. Your recitation of the Quran is valid. Tajweed is not mandatory. It is not wajib. It is recommended. So if you skip it, intentionally or unintentionally, no problem at all. Abdullah from India, he says, there's an argument. We should not buy Chinese products because of what they're doing to our Muslim brothers in the Uyghur community and their imprisonment of 1 million in concentration camps, which they definitely oppose anything that is related to Islam. So someone says, as a prominent scholar in where they're coming from in India, said that we must not buy their products because they are enemies of Islam. His wife says, or his mom says, sometimes they can confuse one foot with the other. Just kidding. I don't need any more hate mail. So his mom or his wife says that by this logic, we should also boycott other products of other countries that support Israel, that support our enemies of Islam. They are enemies of Islam, etc. in some aspect. So what is the ruling? Akhi, first of all, what I buy is my own business. So it's totally up to you. You'd like to buy green tea? Be my guest. You'd like to buy coffee? It's up to you what you drink, what you buy. Nobody says, no, you have to buy from these places or not. Why? Because even at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the companions used to buy and trade with the Persians, the fire worshippers, the Byzantines, the Rum, and the Jews. And they all had fights and skirmishes and wars with the Muslims. So never the Prophet told us, don't buy from them or don't sell them, which means that it is permissible. Now, when it comes to personal preferences, if you feel your blood is boiling and you would like to help your Muslim brothers by any means you can, don't buy their product. Simple as that. Nobody is going to say, no, akhi, you have to buy Chinese products or French products or American products. No, nobody forces you to do this. If you can find an alternative elsewhere, be my guest. So if I do it, am I rewarded? Definitely, akhi. For your intention, you're rewarded. But you don't have the right to judge others or to control what they do. So you don't want to buy it? Perfect. Allah will reward you for your good intention. Don't come to me and say, okay, Sheikh, but why are you buying their products? This is something that belongs to me. This is my own preference and conviction. You have nothing to do with it, so stay out of it. And I hope this answers your question. Noor from Nigeria, he says, Allah Azza wa Jal said to the angels, I am leaving on earth a successor, referring to Adam. So someone said that this means that Allah Azza wa Jal did not send Adam to earth from paradise as a punishment. And this was already predetermined. And this is not true. This is not true because Allah Azza wa Jal knows what is going to happen, as we all know. Allah knows the past, the present, and the future. Allah predestined everything that's going to happen till the day of judgment 50,000 years before Allah created the universe, when there was nothing. Yet Allah predestined it and had the pen write everything in detail. So Allah knew, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is what He was prophesying to the angels, telling them this is what's going to happen. And this does not mean, when telling them this, that Adam would not sin, peace be upon him, and eat from the forbidden fruit or the forbidden tree and be punished by being descended to earth for that. And Allah repented upon him. So what this person is saying is not true, and Allah knows best. Abu Uzair says, from Holland, when Allah mentions in Surah Al-Qalam that He has a shin, a leg, يوم يكشف عن ساق ويدعون إلى السجود فلا يستطيعون. This shin, this leg, belongs to Allah. And the authentic hadith in Al-Bukhari confirms this. And madhab Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, from the Prophet ﷺ to the companions, to the tabi'een, to the tabi'it tabi'een, all agree upon this. So he says, how can we refute and reply to those who accuse the Muslims of giving Allah Azza wa Jal a figure? And he used the word, I never wrote it down and I never took the initiative to memorize it because I don't use it. So how would we reply to them? Akhi, first of all, you don't need to reply to them. The people of innovation and al-ahwa, of desires and whims, those who follow their desires and whims, not the Sharia. You do not waste your time replying to them. Yes, Sheikh, but they are truth seekers. No, they're not. They have a different mindset. They follow innovation, whims, and desires. Our Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, that this ummah will be divided into 73 sects. All of them are in hell except one. And this one is those who are following my footsteps and the footsteps of the companions. These people are not following the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, the Quran, in the Quran, Allah tells us that this is a book that is clear in Arabic. So it's an Arabic book. And it was made clear so the Arabs understand it. And Allah tells us in this book that He has eyes, that He has a face, that He has two hands. Specifically, He did not say one hand or hands. He said two hands. He specified this so that there's no ambiguity of it being a metaphor. When I say I have a hand over you, means that I have a favor over you. So I use one hand. That's it. But when I say two hands, this cannot be a metaphor. To the Arabs, they know that these are two real hands. So the hadith says that Allah Azza wa Jal has fingers. The Quran says Allah has a shin. So when we come to all of these things, and these deviant people come and say, no, this is not true. Akhi, it's in black and white, it's in Arabic. Allah is telling us, the Prophet is telling us, no. Still, this is a metaphor. Now, why would we even go down this road and talk to them? Such people don't deserve to even reply to them because they're deviant. So, stay and remain steadfast. Learn your religion. Abide by the Quran and the Sunnah. And there's a very, very beautiful book that I encourage everybody to study it, which is Al-Aqidatul Wasitiyyah. of Sheikh Al-Islam bin Taymiyyah. It responds to all of their doubts in straightforward قال الله قال الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام. Leaves no room for any ambiguity or for them to try and maneuver, because it's straightforward and it is Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah's Aqidah. Muzammil from the UAE, how would we reconcile between al-wala wal-bara and connecting our kinship with our disbelieving relatives? I don't see, akhi, any contradiction. What is the concept of al-wala wal-bara? Wala, to have the allegiance to someone, to support, to give support and help to those who need you. This is wala. So, al-mu'minuna wal-mu'minat, ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd. So, they are allies to one another, the believers, males and females. They stand together, not free mixing. I'm talking about males with males and females with females, but in an essence, yes, they are backing one other's back, or having one's other's back. Al-bara is to declare that I have nothing to do with that person. And this was mentioned in Surah Al-Mumtahina, when Allah tells us that there's a good example for you in Ibrahim and his people, when they declared that they have nothing to do with their people until they disbelieve in their idols and only take Allah Azza wa Jal as the true God to worship. So this is the concept of wala wal bara. Now, if I have a cousin who's a kafir, if I have a brother who's a kafir, if my wife is a Christian disbeliever, this doesn't mean I have to ditch her or get rid of her or not have anything to do with. She's my wife. I love her as a human being, as a mother of my children, but when it comes to allegiance, I would never back her up in regards of her religion or side with her other Christian people and support them. I will always be with the Muslims, supporting them. And whenever she says anything that is kufr or attributing a son to Allah, I would always have my distance and proclaim and say that this is kufr, this is shirk, I don't support this, I don't agree with this. I wouldn't say, okay, this is your religion, I'm okay with that. You wearing the cross, you doing the Trinity stuff, etc. I'm okay. No, I would proclaim and say that this is against logic, this is against Islam, this is wala wal bara. But that doesn't mean that I don't send them gifts, I don't be nice to them, I don't invite them for food because of their kinship and so on. Jawad from the UAE, he says there's an essay in the university competition. Can I participate in order to win the money? There's no problem in that, inshallah. Ahmed from South Africa, he says wearing Ayat al-Kursi as a necklace, this is totally prohibited for men and women. This is disrespecting the Ayat al-Kursi, although you don't believe that it wards off evil, but you wear it because you love it, or it looks nice, etc. This is what you guys call ta'viza. And this is not permissible, even if you don't believe in it as a ta'wiza. Despite the fact that it is disrespectful for Ayat al-Kursi, the Quran was not revealed to be worn, and you may be in a room that a lot of bad and evil and sinful things taking place. You may forget and go to the toilet with it. So the concept of it falling and then you kissing it, this is also another innovation to some scholars. Some scholars say that this is a form of respect, and it's here and there. It's best not to do that, and Allah knows best. Ali from UK says, Al-Maliki followers, when you go to Morocco, Algiers, maybe some places in Nigeria or whatever, what they call sadl. They don't put their right hand over the left on the chest, they leave their hands to their sides. So what's the point of that? Some scholars say that the followers of Imam Malik started doing this when he started praying like that. Why would Imam Malik, Imam Dar al-Hijrah, pray like that when he knows that the sunnah of the Prophet, as in the hadith of Wa'il ibn Hujr, may Allah be pleased with him, was to put the right over the left on the chest, and this is the sunnah of all prophets. Why would Imam Malik do this? The reason was that at some time or period of history, there was a disagreement between the Muslim ruler and Imam Malik, which happens throughout history with all scholars. This happened with Imam Ahmad, this happened with Imam Abu Hanifa, this happened with Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, who died in prison. All great scholars are tested. And usually, if they don't kiss the backside or they don't polish shoes, they will be thrown in jail. This is the norm. So there was this disagreement which Imam Malik refused to compromise the religion, which led the Muslim ruler to flog him and beat him in prison. That led an injury to his arm, which prevented him from being able to lift it, so he used to pray with his arms to his side. Some of his disciples and students, apparently who were not very smart, followed that way of prayer instead of going back to his books, to his hadiths that he used to teach, to learn how the Prophet used to pray. And they mimicked that and made it part of their religion or part of their school of thought, which is totally bogus, which is totally not true. And Ali, my friend, as a Muslim, we have to go back to the references, Quran and Sunnah, not to what Tom, Dick, and Harry did, with all due respect to them, but Allah ordered us to follow the Quran and the Sunnah. And people differ. People have their different preferences and understanding to things. So we are not to get closer to Allah by their understanding, rather by the Quran and the Sunnah, with the understanding of the three favorite generations, the companions, Tabi'een and Tabi'it Tabi'een. Saad from Qatar, he says, we seem to have gotten on the wrong foot, because when the call was taken, all what I heard from him was, Hasbi Allahu la ilaha illa. And in Arabia, we have this wrong concept that if I'm disputing with someone or someone oppressed me, I say, Hasbi Allah alayk wa ni'mal wakil, as a threat, not knowing that this is not a threat. Hasbi Allah means Allah will suffice me. And wa ni'mal wakil, He's the one I trust and depend upon. So this is not a dua against you. This is declaring that I am trusting Allah Azza wa Jal. But people take it negatively. So this is why I was joking around when I said to him, what have I done to you? So his question is the dua, saying it 7 times, Hasbi Allahu la ilaha illahu alayhi tawakkaltu, etc. This is backed by a hadith. But the scholars of hadith who tell us what is authentic and what is not, graded it as weak. Such as great scholar of Islam, Sheikh Al-Albani, Muhammad ibn Nasir al-Din Al-Albani. He graded it as weak, so we tell people that this is weak. And he's the doctor of the sciences of hadith that we follow. Akbar from India, he says, I made wudu 4 or 5 hours ago, and now it's time to pray, and I totally forgot, and I can't recall whether I passed wind or I went to the toilet or I broke my wudu. So is it possible, just for the benefit of the doubt, to perform tayammum and wipe my face and hands? The answer is no. This is totally prohibited and it's sinful, for the following reasons. Reason number 1, if you definitely broke your wudu, you cannot perform tayammum. You have to go and perform wudu. 2, because there is water in. Number 2, if you're doubtful, then the certainty, which was, I performed wudu 5 hours ago, that's for sure, that's certain. cannot be affected by a doubt that came 4 or 5 hours later, because the doubt has no impact on certainty. So in order for me to make wudu, I have to remember 100% without any shred of doubt that I broke my wudu. In this case, I must perform wudu. Number 3, what if, Sheikh, I can't remember breaking my wudu, but just to be safe, I want to perform another wudu. This is okay, no problem in that. What? If you are certain that you have wudu, why make another wudu? Why not? You just said that certainty is not affected by doubt, so why are you making another wudu? Wouldn't that be wasting water and walking in the playground of shaitan into his trap? No. Why? Well, simply because in the authentic hadith in Sahih Imam Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ was asked, if we eat mutton meat, if we eat the meat of sheep, do we have to, shall we perform wudu? Meaning that we are in the state of wudu and we consume mutton's meat. The Prophet said, if you wish. Though they are in the state of wudu, renewing your wudu again without breaking it is permissible and recommended, because it's a sunnah. When he was asked about renewing wudu after eating camel's meat, he said, yes, you must, which means that eating camel's meat or liver of a camel would invalidate your wudu. You break it and you have to perform it, and Allah knows best. Taimur from the UK, he says, the dua when wearing something new, do we say it while wearing it or after wearing it? There is nothing prescribed, but it seems to me that you say it after you wear it and you completely have it on, you say this dua, not while wearing it. Abu Abdurrahman from Italy, he says, what do we say on a Friday when the Imam sits between the two sermons? There's nothing prescribed. So you can say whatever you wish. Generally speaking, some scholars say that this is one of the times during Friday where the dua is accepted. So when the Imam sits between the two sermons, the two khutbah, raise your hands and make dua for yourself. Oh Allah, forgive me. Oh Allah, grant me this or that, pay off my debt, guide my children, stop my wife from nagging, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. Raising the hands, no problem in raising the hands. And this is what Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen says, may Allah have mercy on his soul. Abdul Samir, and this is the last question if we have any callers. Abdul Samir from Pakistan, he says, can you give us an advice to those who use social media among the youth? Well, the advice is mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. Ittaqullah, fear Allah Azza wa Jal. This thing that you're using, don't even for a second forget that Allah will question you about every page you open, about every glance you take, about everything you hear. Allah would hold you accountable for every single thing on the Day of Judgment. So imagine if you waste your time 5 hours, some 8 hours a day, watching Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, the whole 9 years, TikTok, then what happens? You waste so much time and you gain so many sins, and this is the easy part. What's worse is that you are darkening your heart. It's becoming dark, stiff, and hard. That's why you're not finding the taste and the sweetness of salat, of dua, of reading the Quran. That's why you're always depressed, always fed up and bored. That's why you look for new things and nothing seems to be helping except digging yourself and burying yourself under more and more browsing of such social media platforms. And this is a very negative sign, because lots of the Muslims who are drowned in such things soon would end up leaving the fold of Islam, unfortunately. So, just a reminder. Akhi, use the social media platforms as long as there is no sin, and don't put a limit to the time. But in return, whatever time you spend on it, spend equal time on reading the Quran or offering tahajjud prayers. You will find that, whoa, you gotta be kidding. How long do you open the Quran every day? Oh, Sheikh, I'm ashamed, wallahi, I don't know what to say. No, talk to me. Nobody's listening. Wallah, Sheikh, I open Quran only in Ramadan. Subhanallah, 11 months and you don't open the Quran, but you have the audacity to spend 2 hours a day on social media, and then you want Allah to respond to your dua and to give you provisions and a good job and a good spouse and to give you good health. Hello? There's something wrong up here. You have to rethink your life because it's going down the drain. So this is, inshallah, a quick advice. We have Latifa from US. Latifa?
Assalamualaikum.
Salamtullah.
So my question is there a difference between taking ghusl for menstruation and janaba? Because I watched a video and it says that for a woman who is pure due to menstruation, she has to braid her hair to do the ghusl. Is this correct?
Okay. Rakib from Bangladesh. Rakib.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salamtullah.
Sheikh, as I know, lowering the gaze is a part of hijab for men, and it's not permissible to staring to a woman. So I try my best to do so, but sometimes I fail while walking on the street or while I'm in the university campus. So what should I do now? Please suggest me. And is it a major sin? Jazakallahu khairan.
Wa jazak. So Latifa's question is, what is the difference between removing major ritual impurity from menses and other forms of ghusl, such as removing major ritual impurity due to sexual intercourse or just cleaning? Because she remembers someone saying something about unbraiding, untying or breaking the braids of the hair when it's for menses. The answer is no, it's the same thing. You don't have to untie your braids, undo your braids for ghusl, either one. Some schools of thought made this instruction saying that ghusl for menses comes once a month, while ghusl for sexual intercourse for a spouse may happen every day. So that there is a hardship. But the most authentic opinion, it's all the same. You don't need to untie or undo your braids. Rakib says, I fail sometimes in lowering my gaze at university campus or in the streets or the market. What to do? Ask Allah for forgiveness. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, to one of his companions, you are entitled for the first look, but not the second. Which means a random look while I'm looking and then whoops, and then I move on. This is first look. But when I look at something, I say, whoops, what the heck? This is, whoa. No, this is serious. This is first, second, 10th look. This is sinful. What to do? Whenever you fall into sin, follow that with a good deed. Give charity, ask Allah for forgiveness, pray 2 rak'ahs seeking Allah's forgiveness or for repentance, etc. Always follow any sin with a good deed, and that would erase it. And is it a major sin? The answer is no. But don't look at the size of the sin. Look at whom you are sinning against. And this is the logical thing to do that would make Allah Azza wa Jal fear in your heart. Make you fear Allah in your heart greater than anything else. Rather than calculating with a calculator, okay, this is major sin. No, I'm not going to do that. This is minor. I think I can afford it. I have credit. No, this is the wrong approach because you never know that what will happen on the Day of Judgment. Small twigs and branches make a very huge fire. So be careful of these branches, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. This is all the time we have. Until we meet next time, 3 weeks from today, because next week, Saturday, Sunday, and the following Saturday and Sunday, I won't be coming live on Zad, as I'll be in Cairo, inshallah Azza wa Jal, to do Ask Huda. So until we meet 3 weeks from today, I'll leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين